It's an overcast Saturday in the Garden State, and today the defending SoCon champions and 19th-ranked Mercer Bears make the trip to Mercer County to take on a Princeton Tigers squad looking to extend a two-game winning streak and close out non-conference play on a high note. Hi, everyone. Alongside Dave Giancola, I'm Cody Cruciel. These two teams met last year in Macon, and it was all Bears. 34-7 the final score. A little bit deceiving. Mercer taking advantage of 6 Princeton turnovers. This year, after an early slip-up, the Bears, 4 straight wins. Princeton, meanwhile, back-to-back victories, and it's really been a diverse cast of characters.
Yeah, for Princeton, it's been full team wins, and that's how head coach Bob Suraces summarizes the season thus far after a slip-up in the second half against San Diego to open the season. It's been about 11 guys on offense, 11 guys on defense, and strong special teams play to get them to their 2-1 mark.
You talk about dynamic playmakers, you've got to look at number 9 for Mercer. That's their junior wide receiver, Braden Smith. He leads the team with 28 catches, also one of the most dangerous return men in the country. Last year against the Tigers, 196 all-purpose yards.
It's all about getting number 9 in space, and you're going to see Mercer really do some things on offense to get him the ball, the slip screens to get him in open space. And you know where else you're in open space? In the return game. He had a huge game against Princeton a year ago, and he can flip the field in a hurry and give the Bears really good field position.
From the veteran to a rookie for Princeton, freshman wideout Josh Robinson, coming off a game where all 4 of his catches moved the chains. He's the reigning Ivy League Rookie of the Week.
The snap share has just gone up week over week for Josh Robinson, and last week he came up huge in a victory here against the Columbia Lions. Just a freshman, and he seems to have packed the clutch gene with him as he travels up for his freshman year from Tampa, Florida.
As the rain starts to fall here in Princeton, we take a look at how these two teams match up. Princeton, 3 games under their belt, so finally some semblance of a sample size. 2 numbers that stand out. Sacks allowed. Princeton allowed 6 sacks in that season-opening loss against San Diego, just 2 the last 2 weeks. And then turnover margin. So far, Princeton has the edge over Mercer this year. Last year, turnovers the story of the game. 6 Princeton turnovers, 4 interceptions, 2 lost fumbles, and that was the big difference.
Yeah, the turnover margin is often one you can look at as you look at the outcome of a game. And for Mercer, they've been able to keep the quarterback clean. They're going to look to continue that here today. For Princeton, they have got to keep their quarterbacks upright. Keep an eye out on the edge for Mercer. Andrew Zock, the sophomore, wearing number 0. 0 is the last thing that indicates his motor.
Will Kluski set to tee it up. Gentle rain falling. Not that chilly, not that windy, but just enough precipitation to make it uncomfortable. Second ever meeting between these two teams. The first time Mercer's ever played a game in the Garden State. 34-7, the Bears prevailed over the Tigers last year, week 4 for Princeton down in Macon. Will Kluski puts the right foot into it, and this one returnable. Braden Smith from his own 4-yard line. Smith, who ran back a punt for a touchdown last year, takes it up across the 25. And that's where Mercer will start off as they're led by freshman quarterback Braden Atkinson, a true freshman, Rolesville High School in North Carolina. He didn't open the season as the starter, but he's 4-0 as a starter, all conference games. He's thrown for at least 300 yards 3 out of 4 games. He's tossed at least 3 touchdowns 3 out of 4 games, and they finished last season with a different freshman under center. Ty Dowdy, the converted receiver, still listed as a receiver. He's in the backfield as Atkinson gets hit, and his pass is incomplete, looking for McDaniel. Scarano out there applying the pressure.
Yeah, and to get a quarterback hit on the first play of the game bodes well for the Princeton defense as we take a look at the Mercer offensive line and starters at backs and receiver.
It's a young offensive line, just 1 player older than a junior. Questionable C.J. Miller, the redshirt junior, not out there on the opening series. We're told there's a good chance he plays in a deep stable of receivers. Ty Dowdy, the converted receiver, who last week forced into the running back role, 19 carries, 105 yards, plus a 66-yard touchdown reception. For Princeton, it's a 3-4, although on other plays it can look like a 4-3. Marcelino right, Robinson up front. A veteran and deep linebacker group and some questions in the secondary. Looks like Nasir Hill is out there for the Tigers. He's their senior defensive captain at safety. Atkinson looking far side, coming back, making the catch. McDaniel, first down, Bears.
Really good pitch and catch here. You see Atkinson has time to throw. Beautifully run route by McDaniel to get ahead of the sticks and get a big first down for the Mercer Bears. You look at Atkinson, he has the measurables, obviously, the size. It's the poise when you watch him navigate the pocket that makes you just wonder how this is a true freshman.
9-yard completion to Adonis McDaniel. New running back, that's Tyrell Cord. Picks up 2 or 3 on the first down carry, brought down by Nasir Hill, the aforementioned Princeton defensive captain who was sidelined last week.
And the run game is going to dictate this game on both sides of the ball. Who can dictate the pace of play and the time of possession? Very often, goes without saying, offense can be your best defense.
First drive of the contest, second all-time meeting between these two teams as the freshman Atkinson empties the backfield. On 2nd and 7 over the middle. Found the seam in the defense. McDaniel again, another first down for the Bears across midfield, and another tackle by Nasir Hill.
Yeah, second catch for McDaniel. Both really crisp routes. This one coming across the middle. Keep an eye on this matchup, and if Princeton's going to have to make some adjustments to bracket him to prevent him from getting hot.
McDaniel, 6 games to start his Mercer career, 6 multi-catch contests for the D2 transfer from Lenore Ryan. Out of the backfield, complete. Ty Dowdy lined up at running back, gets to the marker, gets upended on the top side by Kyler Ronquillo, but another first down for the Bears.
Really good blocking up front. It's the tight end Albee and Braden Smith just do a great job at the first line of defense for creating that seam.
Quick snap, screen pass. There's Smith trying to get him in space. Cuts it back across the near side numbers. Upended by Ronquillo once again. Really the diversity, 4 completed passes, 3 different receivers.
A really good job spreading it out by Atkinson. Again, just a true freshman, but he plays like anything but that. You're going to see great pocket presence, good awareness. He goes through his progressions really well, so it's not always the first or second option for number 11. Sometimes he's able to get to 3 and 4.
Dowdy in the backfield with twin tight ends stacked left. Tigers with 4 down linemen. Here's Dowdy, a patient run. Had to get down to the 24, and he does. Another first down by the Bears, and it's Ty Dowdy, the freshman out of Madison, Alabama.
Really impressed with the blocking, both on the outside by the receivers, but this time inside by the big boys up front, and they are that. They are big.
9th play of the game's opening drive coming up as we take a look at the head coach Mike Jacobs on the Bears sideline. Last year in his first season, the SoCon champions, first conference title for this program in over 9 decades, although there's an asterisk there. First down and 10 over the middle, overthrows his intended target. That was Smith, incomplete. Scarano and a couple of other Tigers out there in coverage.
Take a look at the replay. Atkinson looks across the middle, and this one's just too tall.
Wet football?
Wasn't going to blame it on that yet, but I was going to say it's kind of that tricky wet, right? It's just a mist, and sometimes that can be a little deceiving. The ball can get really slippery quickly, even though you could have good feet on the turf.
Dowdy in the backfield. The tight end Albee settles off the left tackle Atchison. Hand off, another deliberate run. Dowdy trying to get outside to the boundary. Scarano got to him first. Stephen Ordilli, Evan Haney finally drive him down to the turf. 2nd down and 10 coming up.
It's a patient run. It's also patient defense from east to west. And you look at the linebackers, Chase Christopher in there. We're going to be saying the name Scarano and Christopher a lot, especially if Mercer keeps it on the ground and gets to that 2nd level.
On 3rd down and 9 from the Tiger, 22, Tyrell Cord, the junior from Charlotte, the lone back. Stacked wideouts right. Atkinson, good protection, has a man behind the defense. First down, Kendall Harris, the sophomore.
Beautiful touch on this pass from the quarterback, a beautifully run flag route to the outside, and a missed opportunity by this Princeton defense to stop what's been a really, really methodical drive by the Mercer Bears. Now, inside the 10-yard line, you can really open up the playbook here.
12th play of the game's opening drive coming up. Cord in the backfield. Two tight ends in the contest. Misdirection up the middle. Cord straight up the gut down to the 2-yard line. Second and goal coming up.
And for Mercer, you're going to want to just keep running the ball until Princeton proves that they can stop it, especially in slippery conditions. Obviously, maybe the coldest Saturday we've had in the football season thus far. Temperature likely only to drop.
Mercer's been really good in the red zone, just a shade under 86% through 5 games. Rolling right pass complete, top side, walking into the end zone for the first score. Malik Simmons, the tight end. The transfer from Lenoir-Rhyne, a D2 school, with his first touchdown for the Bears, and it's 6-0 Mercer out of the gate. 13-play, 72-yard opening drive.
Simmons comes in motion across the defense. They don't track him. And the big tight end at 6'4", 230, untouched into the end zone.
5-minute, 29-second drive. They'll bring on the left-footed kicker, Reese Griffith, to attempt the extra point. And with the rain gently coming down, he makes it 7-0 Bears. Great opening drive for Mercer on the road. 13 plays, 72 yards. The touchdown pass from Atkinson to Simmons. And it's 7-0 Mercer out of the gate. Mike Jacobs' second season as Mercer head coach, former offensive lineman under Jim Tressel at Ohio State, who played in a couple of Sugar Bowls. You can see that career record. He's averaged a 9-2 season over his 10-year head coaching career. 2 different Division II stops, and now his second season for Mercer. And for the Tigers, Bob Serace, a couple weeks ago, his 100th career win between 15 seasons at Princeton, 2 seasons at Western Connecticut. Only 2 men have won Ivy League titles as both a player and a coach. The late, great Dartmouth head coach and quarterback Buddy Tevens, and Bob Serace.
And you see the BT on Coach Serace's headset honoring the late Buddy Tevens.
Return men deep for the Tigers. Christian Lynch and Kenny Jordan, a couple of sophomore running backs. This is Lynch. He's got a seam up the right sideline across the 40. Angled out of bounds across midfield. The longest return of the season for the Tigers. Finally wrestled down by Mick Wasson, the reserve linebacker.
And a great look here from the end zone. Tons of room to run as Kenny Jordan takes it back and gets the Tigers over midfield. A great answer on the return after a methodical Mercer drive where they were able to convert on multiple third downs to keep that going. And you can't let Mercer, a powerful team, get up by multiple scores. A huge drive here for the offense.
Said that was Christian Lynch. That was Kenny Jordan. Kai Colon under center. First play of the day for the Tigers. Slings it left side. Robinson, who picks up where he left off. Kai Colon, one of 2 quarterbacks that split snaps. He's taken about 60% of them. 6'2", 210-pound senior, Middletown, New York. Started his career at Minnesink Valley, played the COVID year in 2021 at Paramus Catholic, and then back to Minnesink where he graduated. In and out of the hands of the running back, Ethan Clark, incomplete, and that's going to bring up a quick 3rd down and 4.
Clark, who had a huge game on the ground against Mercer down in Georgia a year ago, unable to bring that one in as we take a look at the Princeton starters on offense.
Offensive line, knock on wood, has remained relatively healthy this year for the Tigers. Backs and receivers. Princeton, no Jalen Gear, no Charlie Rossi, so mixing it up at receiver. Quick 3rd down and 4 for the Tigers after a 13-play opening scoring drive by Mercer. Colon checks down. Clark out of the backfield, trying to get to the barrier. And he's going to be knocked out about a yard short by K.J. Thomas, the freshman corner out of Conyers, Georgia. And now if you're Princeton offense staying on the field.
Yeah, Princeton goes for it on 4th down in much more risky situations than this one. This is a no-brainer for this offense. And Clark had the first one slip out of his hands. That one he really corralled, but this is one of those games as the mist falls where you might actually drop the receiving gloves. They can do more harm than good.
Asher Weiner comes in the game at tight end. Charlie Kalutis, a freshman there at tight end as well. They're going to keep Cologne on the field with Clark. Oh, they gave him the first down. First down and 10, Robinson running left. It looked like that was spotted about a yard short. Take a look at the defensive starters. Mercer, number 12 scoring defense in the country, number 6 rushing defense. Princeton, one of the few teams that was able to get anything going on the ground last year down in Macon. From the 35, Cologne, it is a throws. Miscommunication as Lorio went left and the ball went right. And Princeton catching a break after they turned the ball over 6 times against Mercer last year.
Hard to tell where the miscommunication was. Was it just the wrong route run by Lorio, or was it an option route where you read the defense and decide your break? Cologne read it as a 9 route. Lorio did not.
Third down and 12 from the Mercer 35. First Princeton drive of the contest midway through the first quarter. 2-step drop. 4-man rush. Cologne swallowed up, and he's going to get sacked. Did the football pop out?
Yep.
Mercer pointing the other way, and it's another Princeton turnover. Kobe McGinnis recovering the fumble, it looked like, as Fox runs off the field.
So we take a look. Cologne, the pocket collapses. He tries to navigate, but the defense comes all the way around. He doesn't know he's getting chased on the backside. Again, holding that ball with one hand in the slippery conditions. Really tough to hold on to the football today, and a huge turnover for the Mercer Bears as they take over.
Mercer engineering a 13-play scoring drive, and then Princeton moving the ball well, but lost fumble on the strip sack. Mercer will get it back as we send it down to the sideline. The third member of our broadcast crew, Stephen Cusimano, battling the raindrops.
Yeah, thanks, Cody. It's a little bit wet down here, but this start to the game is very resemblant of how last year's game started in Mercer, where the Tigers turned the ball over 6 times. They lost 34-7. But if you ask head coach Mike Jacobs about that on the Mercer side of things, he didn't think that score was reflective of how hard Princeton played them. He said that there was a defensive touchdown, a special teams touchdown. He felt that the Tigers kept it very close, so he's not taking a lot of stock into that. He's taking this Tigers team very seriously this week.
Braden Atkinson went 6 of 8, 57 yards, and the touchdown pass to Simmons on the opening drive. As we get our first look in the backfield, C.J. Miller, who opened the season as their starting running back, was limited to just 1 carry last week. They were really banged up. No C.J. Miller, no Micah Bell, top 2 on the 2 deep last week. Check down, that is Miller, and he drops it. Incomplete, second down.
And Miller had a ton of green grass ahead of him and got ahead of himself, started looking downfield. And again, on a day like today, you really need to focus on catching the ball. It is slippery out there. We've seen the fumble. You've got to be very decisive as a quarterback, too. If nothing's there, you've got to hold on to the football.
Second down and 10 from the 39. Play action with a rush. Fires over the head of Adonis McDaniel. And it's incomplete. Princeton getting good pressure in the backfield with Nasir Hill, the safety.
Couple of high throws from Atkinson thus far. He was down on the field pregame, and he puts a ton of zip on it. And sometimes we saw the touch on the nice first down to get them down into the red zone, but might have to take some off of it and be a little more precise in the conditions today.
4 wideouts with trips left. Miller the lone back. 4-man rush. Atkinson on third down and 10. Rolling right, sees a seam, and he's going to get tripped up from behind, short of the first down marker. Sekou Rowland on the Princeton tackle.
Good tackle by Rowland. It looked like Atkinson was going to have no trouble getting the first down, but good closing speed by number 11 to make the shoestring tackle. And a huge stop on fourth down after the turnover. Again, if Mercer marches down the field, again, it's really tough to play catch-up against a talented team like this.
After a 13-play opening scoring drive, Mercer goes 3 and out on their second drive as John McConnell comes in to kick it deep to the reigning Ivy League Rookie of the Week, Josh Robinson. From the 46, Robinson is going to let it bounce. kicking inside the 5, takes a Mercer hop down to the 2-yard line. 51-yard punt, no return, and the Tigers down by a touchdown. Have their work cut out for them.
Mercer's so good on special teams. We talk about Braden Smith and his return ability. What you often don't talk about is the kicking game. And that's a huge, huge kick there to pin Princeton inside its own 5-yard line. It really limits the playbook on these first few plays just to get out of the shadow of your own end zone. You never like to see your quarterback standing in your own end zone. So we'll see if they rely on the kicking game to get them out of Dodge.
Kai Cologne in the game, give to Darion Murphy. Princeton's utilized 3 running backs relatively equally this year. Picks up a yard or 2 before he's brought down by the junior safety Caleb Hutchinson. Kai Cologne got the first drive. Cologne back out there for the second drive. Princeton 6 plays, just 4 yards on their first possession. 2nd down and 8 from the 4-yard line. Wasser and Kaludis, the junior and the freshman, twin tight ends in for the Tigers. Murphy in the backfield. One-on-one coverage, far side, some contact, and it's incomplete. First career target for Landon DePrima, the sophomore.
Yeah, it's a high-risk, high-reward play call there on 2nd down from inside your own 5, because now it's 3rd and long. And on the outside, they've got some massive corners. Carmelo O'Neal, 6'4", 200.
Man behind the defense, that's Robinson. Some contact. Head never got around, but not enough contact to draw the flag. Donovan Watkins, the linebacker, was there. Caleb Hutchinson, the safety, also downfield in coverage, and the Tigers are going to go 3 and out.
Yeah, this one hung up in the air a little bit. Robinson mistimed the jump just slightly, but as you said, secondary does not get the head around.
Probably not quite enough contact.
Not enough contact. He didn't run through the receiver. Had he done that, it would have been a flag, no doubt.
So a pass breakup and a tackle by Caleb Hutchinson, the junior transfer from Coastal Carolina. Another nice defensive series by the Bears, who have 9 men at the line of scrimmage. Ethan Clark, low kick. Back for Smith from his own 46. Gets some blocking, cuts it up the middle, and then immediately met and spun down to the turf. Good special teams tackle by the Tigers. And we'll step away. Mercer will have the football in Princeton territory with a 7-0 lead here on the road. It was a busy Friday night around the Ancient 8. Harvard improving to 4-0 on the season. They jumped out to a 17-0 lead and finished the game with another 17 unanswered points. So the Crimson heading into this Saturday, the lone team atop the Ivy standings at 2-0. A couple of non-conference victories. Brown a week removed from a top 10 win over Rhode Island, knocking off another Ocean State rival in Bryant. 336 yards passing from James Murphy. And then Penn over former Princeton player, former Princeton coach Mike Willis and the Marist Red Foxes. 335 yards passing by Quakers quarterback Liam O'Brien. 15 catches, 190 yards from Jared Richardson. The Quakers 3-1. From the 47 after the nice return by Smith. First down carry near side. That's Ty Dowdy, who's gotten the bulk of the workload in the backfield for the Bears. Picks up a few. 2nd and 6. Mercer's first drive, 13 plays, 5.5 minutes. Touchdown pass to Malik Simmons from Braden Atkinson. And we have a timeout on the field for an injured Princeton Tiger. That looks like Kayvon Miller, the safety. Miller starting at safety, the junior from Fleming Island, Florida, because of the preseason knee injury to Taj Owens, one of their starters and all-conference player from last year.
See, he just goes down on his own. Something didn't feel right pre-snap. Walking off the field, which is always good to see.
Kayvon Miller, who last year 30 tackles in 10 games, just a tremendous athlete. NCAA track and field qualifier last spring. Bob Surace dealing with a slew of injuries in the secondary. Taj Owens hasn't played this year. They've had Glennie Cross in and out of the lineup. Evan Haney's been hurt. Nasir Hill missed basically the last 2 games.
Bob Surace fired up today. After that first Mercer drive, he was down there getting fired up with the defense, and you see him there. A lot of passion today.
Man in motions. That's Travion Solomon. They give to Dowdy. Picks up 3 down to the Princeton 40. 3rd down and short coming up.
Big play for both teams here. Mercer was able to really break through on multiple 3rd and longs on that first scoring drive. Unable to do so on the last drive. But this is classic 4-down territory if you only get 1 or 2.
3rd down and 3 from the Tiger 40. Rain picking up some pressure, unloads near side, complete, 1st down. Out of the backfield, that's Dowdy. 3rd catch of the season for the freshman.
Dowdy's had a great season, great game last week. And you see here, looks like it was his first option out of the backfield, number 80. Plenty of room to get that 1st down. 1st and 10 now for the Bears, well into Princeton territory.
Ty Dowdy did not have a carry the first 5 games or 4 games of the season. Had 19 for 105 and a receiving touchdown last week. Quickly finds a seam, spins ahead right near the 1st down marker. Finally knocked down by Scarano, and it's another Mercer 1st down. 7th time they've moved the chains here in the 1st quarter.
Great blocking up front. Gavin Marks, the freshman center, high school teammate of the quarterback Braden Atkinson, comes across with a huge block to create the space.
Marks, just a great story. We'll have more on him later on in the broadcast. 1st down, give inside Princeton territory. It's Dowdy. Picks up 6. Nasir Hill on the tackle. Flag on the near side.
Dowdy getting a ton of touches and making the most of them.
On the offense, 5 men in the backfield, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
And just like that, momentum now moving backwards for the Mercer Bears, 5 yards after a great gain on the play by Dowdy. But as you heard, 5 men in the backfield, an illegal formation.
Henry Winberg, our referee today. That'll make it a 1st down and 15 at the Princeton 29. Total offense so far, 102 yards for the Bears, 6 yards for the Tigers on their first 2 possessions. C.J. Miller in the backfield. They pitch it to Miller, trying to sprint around the outside, shakes the 1st tackle, finally met by Etienne. He gets help from his friends, and it'll be 2nd down.
Toss to the right for Miller, and great pursuit to the outside by the Princeton defense. A ton of Tigers there.
C.J. Miller, 5'11", 230 pounds out of the backfield. Just 1 carry last week, banged up the week before. 2 weeks ago, 29 carries, 172 yards, 2 scores, and a comeback win in Johnson City against East Tennessee State. 2nd and 12 from the 26, and another penalty. A couple of flags come in for what will be a false start.
False start, offense, number 85, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
They could have gotten a couple of culprits. They called on 85, the junior tight end Sawyer Burt.
You see Marks kind of moves his head at center, and I think people read that as the snap, and the right side of that line moved early. That's going to drive the head coach crazy.
2 penalties on drive number 3 today for the Bears. Miller in the backfield, 2 wideouts to either side on 2nd and 17. The always dangerous Smith in motion. They look at him and then check down to Miller, who gets blown up from behind. A.J. Pigford, the sophomore, Snellville, Georgia native, had a great game against the Bears at his home state last year. Pigford, after that contest, 3 tackles for a loss, a sack, and a fumble recovery, was the Ivy League Rookie of the Week.
And really good discipline by Pigford of reading that, because quarterback fooled me. He was looking in the backfield the whole way at Braden Smith, and then at the last second got it to Miller. Savvy play.
Third down and 16. Four-man rush, batted down at the line of scrimmage. Looked like London Robinson, the Tigers' nose guard. Princeton getting a big defensive stop on a drive where Mercer started in plus territory.
The motor from Robinson, he deflects it and just keeps running.
It's a little bit deceiving. We talked about the Princeton defense, just one quarterback sack through 3 games. That's not a sack, but that's still pressure.
It's pressure, it's a stop. And a great job just getting hands up in the passing lane.
47-yard field goal attempt. Reese Griffith, whose career long is 51. That was a couple weeks ago against the Citadel. This one's going to fall well short. Flag down in the backfield.
This will be an interesting call. The wind in the kicker's face on that one.
Huge call here.
Running into the kicker, defense number 0. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Not sure if that was Rashad Caldwell or Torian Roberts.
Take a look. That is
just
definition of running into the kicker. Luckily, it wasn't roughing the kicker to keep it as a 4th down. And
they're going to bring the offense on the field.
Yeah, they're going to change their philosophy here as Atkinson and company come back out. This is 4th and long, though. I mean, it didn't go from 4th and 6 to 4th and 1.
I don't think you would pooch punt here like we saw the Tigers, because at that point, you're probably just going to attempt the field goal again. 4th down and 11 from the 25.
Princeton, second for the half. 30 seconds.
Timeout Tigers, and they'll talk it over on 4th down and 11, trailing 7-0. Lone points came on the opening drive of the game. Mercer 13 plays, capped by the touchdown pass from Atkinson to Malik Simmons. Yeah, Mercer on 4th down through 5 games, they've only gone for it twice.
Yeah, interesting not to kick the field goal again, especially after you basically get a hack at it and understand the conditions a little bit better. If you're the kicker, the conditions have definitely diminished as opposed to the pregame warm-ups.
Supposed to get some pretty nasty weather here on the East Coast from a nor'easter that I didn't think was coming through until tomorrow.
Yeah, state of emergency in the state of New Jersey, I think, starts tonight statewide at 10 p.m. Eastern.
These are the outer bands coming off the ocean. 4th down and 11 from the 25. Miller in the backfield. Atkinson out of the shotgun. Trips left for the Bears. Tigers send for Atkinson, looking over the middle, wedges it incomplete. 1st down, Kendall Harris. Another big 1st down catch for Harris inside the 10. And another safety down for the Tigers, Kyler Ronquillo.
Take a look. It's the clean pocket that allows Atkinson to read the defense, and the touch to get it in between the 2nd and 3rd levels of the defense. So impressive to convert there.
Princeton had Kayvon Miller go down with an injury. Now they have Kyler Ronquillo being helped off to the sideline. Princeton's secondary, which came in a veteran group with a lot of depth, just decimated by injuries over the first month of the season. Sammy Lamont was pressed into action. He had a career-high 4 tackles and a big pass breakup in the end zone as time expired. Let's see who Princeton runs out. Ball's going to be spotted at the 5-yard line. 1st down and goal. Final 81 seconds here in the 1st quarter.
And how pivotal could that running into the kicker call be as we go through this game if Mercer's able to convert here?
Miller in the backfield, man in motion, handoff. Miller plunges up the middle and into the end zone for the Bears. Touchdown. Nothing fancy that time. Give it to the big 230-pound redshirt junior from Gadsden, Alabama. And it's an early 2-score lead on the road for Mercer.
And you said it, when 5'11", 230 gets going downhill and the momentum starts, it's going to be really hard to stop. And the Tigers are unable to do that on that play. Miller makes it look easy as Mercer goes up 13-0 as they look to tack on the extra point.
We ran you through his stat line 2 weeks ago, 172 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns in a road conference win against East Tennessee State. Griffith's extra point is good, so it's 14-0. Miller, after that victory, the National Stats Perform FCS Offensive Player of the Week. He got banged up a couple weeks ago at the end of the game, was limited to just 1 carry last week in a victory against Samford at home. That forced Ty Dowdy into his first career action as a featured running back, and he hit the century mark. Suffers some injuries early in the season. That really builds up the depth late in the year, and you look at what Coach Jacobs and his offensive coordinator Anthony Soto have in the backfield. You have Miller, you have Micah Bell, who's also been sidelined. He's a FBS transfer from Charlotte. Now you have Ty Dowdy. We've seen Tyrell Cord, the junior, as a third down back. They have a redshirt freshman they really like, Billy Martin, who had 67 yards last week. They've really, when everyone's healthy, got 5 options in the backfield they feel good about.
Yeah, it's a great problem to have the depth at such an important position.
Kenny Jordan returned the opening kickoff into Mercer territory, this time cutting up the left hash, and he'll get brought down at the 24. So better special teams coverage as Princeton takes over.
And wouldn't be surprised if we see Blaine Hippa come out here. After Kai Colon got the first few drives, Hippa did a nice job against Columbia running the ball, albeit he put it on the turf in a big spot. We do see number 2 coming out there. But this could be a good change-up, especially given the conditions and Hippa's athleticism and ability to run the ball, to see if Princeton can get things going on the ground.
New running back as well, Kai Honda. Joey Wassler, the tight end, some pre-snap motion. Hippa, the senior quarterback, Kailua, Hawaii, started against the Bears down in Macon last year. First down play goes for maybe a yard. Kai Honda, the sophomore from California. Hippa last year against Mercer, maybe his worst game of the season, 4 interceptions. Princeton, 6 turnovers. That was really early in his first season as a starter. He's given the Tigers a spark the past couple of weeks. Caldwell in motion, handoff, there goes Honda, has a seam, lowers the shoulder, first down Princeton. Tigers move the chains for the second time here in the first quarter.
Kai Honda is an impressive runner when he gets going. Wasn't able to get anything going on first down, but that time you see the burst of speed and the decisiveness by the young running back, finding the hole, hitting it hard.
Princeton can let the clock run down if they choose so with 10 seconds to go in the quarter. And it looks like that's what they will elect to do. Princeton's first 2 drives, not much doing, but a little bit of a spark. The 10-yard first down run by Kai Honda as the first quarter comes to an end. The first 15 minutes belong to the Mercer Bears, a methodical 13-play, 5.5-minute drive to open the quarter, and then Mercer putting 7 more points on the board. That's the opening touchdown, and then on their most recent drive, able to capitalize. 14-0, Bears on top. Mercer, after dropping a non-conference opener against Presbyterian 15-10, 4 straight wins, all against SoCon opponents. The Bears, the defending SoCon champs, they've won 8 straight against conference opponents dating back to last year. 2 other undefeated teams, 2-0 Furman, 2-0 Western Carolina. Big one today, they'll play at Western Carolina, 2:30 kickoff in Cullowhee, North Carolina. So Mercer in the driver's seat a month and a half into the season. You look at what Mike Jacobs has done, just his second season, and he's got them back on top of the conference. They won for the first time since bringing their program back last year. From the 37, handoff Honda after the 12-yard run, picks up just 1 on the first down carry. Kai Honda, 5'10", 200-pound sophomore out of Manhattan Beach, California. It's been Honda and then the 2 return men, Christian Lynch, Kenny Jordan, 3 sophomore running backs that continue to work their way into larger and larger roles. Second down and 9. Early second quarter, 2-score Mercer lead. Hippa goes to the air, Ball deflected, got a Mercer defensive back, got a Tiger in Jackson Green, and falls incomplete. Bliss with the initial breakup. Carmelo O'Neal, the big corner there in coverage as well. Josh Robinson, who had an early catch to move the chains, the intended target downfield.
You like trying to get Robinson the ball. You got to get him touches after what he showed last week, but Bliss does a nice job reading the quarterback's eyes after the play action.
Princeton 1 for 3 converting third down today, and this is a big one. Robinson in motion, third down and 9, the lefty. Hippa pump fake running for his life, offhand. Fires over the middle, complete. Robin Lorio across midfield. First down, Princeton. Great job by Kai Colon going offhand to keep the play alive.
Yeah, Hippa does a great job here in navigating, and you think he's going to run for it. A ton of Mercer Bears converging on him, but he has the poise to come back up, survey the field, and find Lorio.
I said Kai Colon. That was obviously Blaine Hippa. Here's Caldwell in motion. Hippa rolling left. Hit as he throws and throws it out of bounds. Great pressure. Julian Fox, the sophomore outside linebacker.
Yeah, Hippa rolls out to his strong side, the left side, but he's also fading backwards, and it makes it really, really hard to complete a pass. Mercer, again, good pursuit, but off the back foot, does a good job of just throwing it away. And I think good news for both teams. It's brightening up and looks like the rain has let up here in Princeton.
Second down and 10, right around midfield. Hippa, option left, just gets it off. Here's Honda out of the backfield. Down inside the 40, and another Princeton first down. It's Kai Honda again.
And that was almost disastrous as Mercer and Zock was coming downhill into the backfield and almost intercepted the toss. But Honda able to corral it and get a huge first down into Mercer territory.
They tried to fool our low end zone cam op, Chuck Calhoun. You can't do that. It's not going to bite on that. First down and 10. Five-man rush. Hippa hit from behind, loses the football. I think he got it back. Ball still loose. They haven't blown the whistle. Princeton lands on top of the football. Nearly disastrous again.
And a huge loss for the Tigers. Obviously, great to retain possession as there's an injured Mercer Bear down on the field. Take a look. Hippa looking downfield, he thinks he can escape and just does not tuck the ball. And Zock is right there, one of the best pass rushers that Princeton will see this year. Great job by Mercer in collapsing on the pocket and a forced fumble by Zock, and just no one gets the ball. Gets
Hot
squeezed
potato.
out. Yeah, and Princeton lucky to retain possession there. Looked like Mercer was going to get it.
Injured Mercer Bear on the field, and as they tend to, the freshman defensive end Kobe McInnes will step away. Princeton keeps the football after their second fumble of the contest. You look in the middle of that defensive huddle, number 0, just a sophomore. Andrew Zock, last year the SoCon Freshman of the Year, 7 sacks, 14.5 TFLs. He was 4th in final voting for the Jerry Rice Award. That's the FCS National Freshman of the Year, and all he's done this year, 5.5 sacks, 10.5 tackles for a loss. That was his second forced fumble. You look at him, he's listed 6'2", 250, but it's a menacing 6'2", 250.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at height and weight pregame down on the field, and there were a couple guys that just stood out, and multiple on the defensive side. I mean, Carmelo O'Neal, who I mentioned earlier, the sophomore corner at 6'4", 200. I mean, an imposing athlete. And then Zock was just, the motor on this guy is tremendous.
Good news, Kobe McInnes, who was the injured Mercer Bear, was actually out there lined up for the snap, and then they sent him back to the sideline, so it looks like he's okay. Second down and 18 after the recovered fumble. Hippa hit and swallowed up again. Jordan Swain, the redshirt senior nose tackle, 6th season with the Bears, the first to meet him, and then Immediately joined by his friends.
Yeah, you can try to double team 6'3", 290, and you might need a third friend to help you out, because that's just a big body in the middle of the defense at nose tackle who just navigates his way right upfield.
Third Mercer sack today. That'll set the Tigers up 3rd down and 24 at midfield. Empty backfield, 4-man rush. Hippa steps up. Throws it off his back foot for Wassler, and it's caught out of bounds by Carmelo O'Neal.
And I think you said it, it's the theme, throwing off the back foot. Your internal clock on the pressure is definitely going to hit you after a couple of forced fumbles here today by the Mercer defense. The pocket is collapsing quickly. Hippa's doing a nice job of navigating, but he's fading away, and you're just not going to convert on 3rd and long, fading away to the sideline.
There's a lot of really good players in what seems to be a good year for the Ivy League. I don't know the Tigers are going to face anyone as disruptive as Andrew Zock. On 4th and 24, Clark, who comes into this one 3rd in the nation in punt average, kicks it away. No return by Braden Smith. Fair catch called for at the 16, so 34 yards, no return. Mercer will have the football back early 2nd quarter. They've got a 14-0 lead here on the road in Princeton. Head coach Mike Jacobs speaking highly of his offensive line earlier this week, and they're anchored by a true freshman center with a remarkable story. For more, let's go down to the sideline for Steven.
Coach Jacobs called it a Disney storyline, and one that started for him 46 games in a row in a high school. He started from his freshman year to his senior year. He was an Ironman, but that streak came to an end. Last time during the playoffs, he was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, and then during the offseason was undergoing chemotherapy, and got a message from the New Orleans Saints tight end Foster Moreau, who underwent the same kind of surgery and chemotherapy for his Hodgkin's lymphoma. Played in the NFL 2023 and 2024. Sent him a support video. They talked on the phone. Fast forward to April 15th. Mark's had his final chemotherapy session, and lo and behold, he's become one of the most important members of this Mercer Bears squad.
High school teammates, Rollsville High School, North Carolina, with his quarterback, Braden Atkinson. How about that? Ironman streak as a high school offensive lineman. You beat cancer, you come back, and you win the starting center job for a ranked team as a freshman. That's absolutely remarkable.
Yeah, and center is such a pivotal position in calling the shots for the offensive line.
Atkinson underthrows his intended target at Jonte Dabbs, their leading receiver, 52 yards per game. 3rd down and 6 coming up.
Take another look. Atkinson, this one was wobbling a bit, and I think Princeton got a hand on it off the edge, so just enough to disrupt that pass.
Robert Sanders, the rush linebacker, junior out of Fort Worth, Texas, getting his fingertips on that one. Mercer 3 for 5, converting 3rd down today. This will be 3rd down and 6. C.J. Miller in the backfield with trips left. Atkinson blown up downfield, one-on-one coverage, broken up by A.J. Haney, or Evan Haney, excuse me. Jalen Jones getting to the quarterback. It'll be 4th down, and the Bears have to punt it away.
Fantastic coverage by Haney on the outside. He reads the receiver's eyes and can sense that the ball's on the way, so he turns around, able to spot it, does just enough with the left hand to shield the receiver, uses the right hand to deflect the ball. Great coverage in single coverage downfield.
Princeton's still looking for their first sack, but that doesn't mean Atkinson has been comfortable. Jalen Jones got to the quarterback. John McConnell on to punt for the 2nd time today. Right-footed kicker. Wobbling kick will bounce at the 45, take a Mercer hop inside the 35. Still going, and it's down right around the 30. 50-yard punt, no return. Tigers will take over. Princeton defense gets a stop. Pretty much a must-stop drive, and now 14-0. If you're the Tigers, you've got to get something going. 19 plays for this Princeton offense, just 32 yards.
I'm thinking jet sweeps to Josh Robinson, something to get the ball carriers the ball in space. The pocket is simply collapsing too quickly. Blaine Hippa did a nice job escaping. I mean, he did fumble the ball, Princeton able to recover, but they cannot rely on the rollout here with Hippa throwing off his back foot.
Ethan Clark, who hasn't had a carry today in the backfield. Option left, Clark blocking for Hippa. Keeps the legs moving, picks up maybe a yard before he's wrapped up by Isaac Prince. Kai Colon got the first 2 drives. This is Blaine Hippa's second drive.
And they double team Zoc, and obviously that frees up another rush linebacker from the second level to shoot down into the gap and do a nice job of bottling up that run play.
They'll give him 2 on the first down carries. Second down and 8. Joe Harris, the receiver, in motion. 4-man rush, quick hit near side, complete. Harris. First down, Princeton, and for Joe Harris, that's his first career catch. So he got tackled shy of the first down marker.
Comes back to the ball, and rather than keeping momentum moving forward to get to the chains, it was a comeback route, so a nice catch. 3rd and short, 3rd and 2, and this is 50-50 4-down territory. I mean, Princeton goes for it a lot, but you'd think maybe keep it on the ground here, see if you can get this one.
3rd down and 2, Jackson Green, the motion man. Give to Clark, and he gets buried at the line of scrimmage. Prince with another big tackle.
Looks like it's going to be a loss of 1 on that play as Mercer finds its way into the backfield in a hurry. And if I thought they should keep it on the ground, looks like Mercer thought the same thing. Great job there by the Mercer defense. Super impressed with their ability to track the ball. Prince doing an outstanding job on a couple of consecutive plays.
Brady Clark in to kick it away for the 3rd time, and the always dangerous Braden Smith camped out at his own 20. Clark, the nation's 3rd leading punter coming into this contest, and this is a beauty. Clark unloads it inside the 20, takes a Mercer hop down at the 16-yard line. That's 46 yards with no return. It was down by Paul Keener. Mercer gets the football back. We'll step away. 14-0 Bears on top of the Tigers. Princeton well represented in the NFL. Stephen Carlson, 26 career NFL games. Henry Bird recently elevated to the Vikings active roster after signing with them as an undrafted free agent. Jalen Travis, 4th-round pick after finishing his career last year at Iowa State. Andre Yosevich, 3rd season with the Bengals, already 10 NFL touchdowns. Pretty special moment for the Princeton football program. This was a couple of weeks ago after the Bengals took on the Vikings in Minnesota. Yosevich, Henry Bird.
Yosevich, a new quarterback for the Bengals this week. Joe Flacco, who entered the league in 2008, I believe. Andre Yosevich, born in 1999.
Quick hit near side. Complete to their slot receiver, Braden Smith, for a gain of 5 on first down. Couple of thoughts. A, that makes me want to go climb under a rock. B, Andre, another good game this past Sunday against the Lions. 5 catches, 82 yards.
I mean, when you have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, the 3rd receiver oftentimes gets some favorable coverage, and Andre's taking advantage of it.
2nd down and 5. Atkinson over top of the defense. Nobody picked up Adonis McDaniel deep into Princeton territory. Finally chased down by Kyler Ronquillo. The ball pops out. Tigers walking back the other way. I think they're going to say he was down, and the receiver slow to get up.
Looks like it looks like McDaniel fell awkwardly on his shoulder and favored it right away. Tremendous job taking the top off the defense, and he favors that shoulder immediately.
So Mercer with the big strike into Princeton territory. That is 58 yards. Braden Atkinson to Adonis McDaniel, the junior transfer. Was recruited by Mike Jacobs at Division II Lenoir-Rhyne, and they're taking a look at him on the field after his 2nd catch of the contest.
Take another look to see. Bob Surace wants a replay. I think the ground likely caused the fumble there.
Kyler Ronquillo in pursuit. Was able to chase him down, so great hustle by Ronquillo, and then a sophomore corner, Casey Etienne Jr. As they tend to the junior receiver out of Columbia, South Carolina. McDaniel now 3 catches, 78 yards today, including that one that sets Mercer up deep in Princeton territory.
Hey, you thought it was a matter of time before Mercer took the top off the defense, and that time they did just that. And that angle kind of confirms our suspicion that he was down with the ball as McDaniel gets up under his own power. But it was an upper body injury that be surprised if we saw him back in this one.
Officially 56 yards, Braden Atkinson to Adonis McDaniel. Atkinson today 11 of 18, 145 yards and a touchdown. That was his longest completion of the afternoon. So much depth at the receiver position. McDaniel, we'll see if we see him again, but he's their leading receiver with 3 catches. And so far today, Atkinson's completed passes to 6 different players.
So tough to prepare for a team that has this much depth all over the field. And look at how hard it is to see the big quarterback because of the big fellas up front. The offensive line is massive. Amari Atchison, the left tackle, 6'8", 300. We just looked at Jalen Travis in the Princeton Pros, who's now with the Indianapolis Colts, similar size.
Jalen wasn't that big as a sophomore.
No, not as a sophomore.
First down and 10 over the middle. Albee, speaking of big targets, the 6'5", 235-pound tight end down the seam for 6. All Bears here in the first half. It's a 3-score lead.
Great job out of the injury timeout to draw up a dagger to the middle of the field. Great job by Albee of rumbling into the end zone, and just like that, 20-0 Mercer. And the defensive pass rush has caused all sorts of problems for the Tigers, leaving them to be unable to move the ball effectively. And this is not a team you want to play catch up against, especially down 3 scores.
Make it 112 consecutive extra points for the junior kicker from Florida, Reese Griffith. 21-0 Bears on top on the road here against Princeton. Mercer's first ever game in the Garden State. Talked about how depleted Princeton is in the secondary.
Yeah, they're thin, and Mercer's taking advantage of it. That time they hit the seam with the tight end, which is always a tough matchup, as we see a unique celebration on the sideline from Mr. Albee.
I think we just confirmed your theory. So Samuel Albee listed at 6'5". Andrew Zock listed at 6'2". I'm not sure there's a size difference. I don't know if it's just the angle of the camera, but
yeah, you know, maybe they wore the 3/4-inch cleats, but there are some big fellas coming up from Georgia, and they look quite comfortable here in New Jersey on a cold, soggy day in the Northeast. The fellas from the South come up and have no problem acclimating.
It's been a really interesting season. You want to talk about bad weather. Mercer's first game of the season didn't even count. They took on 7th ranked at the time UC Davis in a game down in Montgomery, Alabama. That one was called midway through the 4th quarter, a couple of weather delays. So they played 80% of a game, and the stats get wiped off. The next week they come out and they drop a pitcher's duel 15-10 against Presbyterian, who's really turned their program around after dropping down to the Pioneer Football League. And since then, 4 straight wins for the Bears, all in conference play, as Princeton brings the quarterback Kai Colon out. He got the first 2 series. Not much doing. Colon 3 for 7, 8 yards. He's been sacked once. Princeton needs to score here. Darion Murphy, cutback run up the left hash, picks up a yard or 2 before he runs into the arms of the middle linebacker, Drew Clare.
And Princeton's got to find something downfield. Josh Robinson is going to have tough matchups just size-wise in the slot. But Jackson Green, who we didn't hear from last week much against Columbia, had his touchdown against Lafayette 2 weeks ago that sealed the deal.
Out of the backfield, thrown at the feet of the streaking running back, Murphy, incomplete.
And just to finish the thought, we've seen two kind of deep throws from Princeton in succession, but it was from the shadow of their own end zone. So they've got to open up the playbook. They've got to try to find something in the middle of the field to make the secondary kind of slough off at the line of scrimmage, because right now it's press coverage and they're just daring Princeton to try to get something going on the ground.
It's been a storyline. Time of possession starting to creep up on the Tigers. Big 3rd down and 8 from the 27. Cologne chased, ball pops out. Princeton jumps on top of it. Cooper Coors, the senior left tackle, recovering the fumble, but that's going to be a huge loss down to the 15. And on 4th down and forever, the Tigers are going to go 3 and out.
Multiple forced fumbles by the Mercer Bears, and I think it goes without saying, you know, after 3 forced fumbles, Princeton's been lucky to come back with a couple of them, but when you're rolling out, just assume there is somebody on your back.
It's going to go down as the 4th sack today by the Mercer defense. Clark standing on his own goal line. Braden Smith camped out in midfield. Another good punt. This one chases Smith back. At Roberts or Caldwell bearing down on him, and he'll make the fair catch at the 35. 50-yard punt, no return. Mercer with a 3-score lead will get the football back.
And a ton of time here, 6.5 minutes to go before halftime. Princeton does get it back to start the 3rd quarter, but Mercer with an opportunity to do even more damage with solid field position on their own 35. Atkinson has had all day to throw. Princeton's been a bit disruptive, but not enough to make a difference against the true freshman quarterback that plays like a 5th-year senior.
Worth noting, Kyler Ronquillo back in the game at safety alongside Nasir Hill. 1st and 10, Cord, the running back, tries to cut back. Nothing doing, runs right into the arms of the freshman defensive lineman Nate Stoll. 2 weeks ago, the Ivy League Rookie of the Week.
Princeton's run defense is, you know, bent but not broken here today. And we talked about Princeton giving it up 6 times against Mercer a year ago. Princeton could already have a ton of turnovers if they weren't fortunate enough to cover up some of these fumbles.
2nd down and 9, 4-man rush complete near side, little hitch route. Travion Solomon up across the 40 to the 41.
And a gigantic 3rd down here for the Princeton defense, who desperately need to stop and to get this Mercer offense off the field. You see Princeton with a little bit of a stunt blitz. Atkinson reads it well and knows if they're bringing that many rushers, there's somebody open.
Right back to Solomon, and this time enough for a Mercer 1st down, wrapped up by Haney. That's the 11th Bears 1st down here in the 1st half.
Moving the ball at will. I've been so impressed with their ability to convert on 3rd down. And again, they were doing it really well, you know, in the slippery conditions. It's cleared up, so should only become more efficient there.
First 2 catches of the day on back-to-back plays for Travion Solomon, the redshirt junior. Local product from Macon, Georgia. Give left side, Miller trying to stretch it, gets across midfield, angling to the sideline, run out of bounds by Ronquillo. And let's see if they move the chains.
Looks like they should.
And
looks
they
like
will.
The ball was ahead of the chains, and it was, as we take a look. Running off the left side, great blocking. Really impressed with the receivers on the outside for Mercer. Their ability to hold blocks but not hold the defender.
Miller's got 4 carries for 22 yards and a touchdown. Atkinson all day to go downfield. One-on-one coverage, wedges it in. Ajante Dabbs 1st down. That'll get him inside the red zone, looking to go up 4 scores.
Really good route by Dabbs, and what you're going to see is him use his body to shield the defender, and a no-doubt catch. Takes it all the way into the body, does Dabbs. He's 6 foot 170, but he plays big when he uses his body to shield defenders like that.
24 yards for Dabbs, who had 2 of his best games down the stretch last year. Had 181 yards in the regular season finale against Furman that clinched the SoCon title, and then caught a touchdown in the first round of the FCS playoffs. Ball thrown out of bounds. Bob Serace pointing at the middle of the field. Robert Sanders on the pressure, the rush linebacker for the Tigers. Dave, what did you see?
Apollos Cook does a nice job of running to that ball to make a receiver in the area. I don't think his route was designed to take him there, but he saw the fly ball to left field and went and chased it.
Mercer's played a really clean game outside of that one drive where they had 2 penalties. Atkinson hasn't been sacked. Firing between the defense and right on cue. It's intercepted. Evan Haney coming back the other way. Down the near sideline looking for a block. Shakes a tackle from an offensive lineman, and boy, did Princeton need that. Finally escorted out by the quarterback Atkinson, but right on cue, the takeaway by Haney, and Princeton back into Mercer territory.
And the sound that Princeton needs to hear right now is that turnover bell, and they're about to hear it. That's exactly what the doctor ordered, down 21-0.
Third career interception for the junior cornerback from Chattanooga, Tennessee, out of Baylor School. He's had a really nice day.
He just sits in coverage. Atkinson doesn't see him. He shades over, reads the quarterback's eyes, and then it's just the 100-yard dash. Gets cut a little bit short, but a really good return to get it back into Mercer territory as Kai Colon comes in to take the helm for the Tigers.
Princeton will get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a critical drive. If Princeton can get some points on the board, they've got to feel like they've got a chance. Kai Colon, quick hit. Robinson for a nice pickup on first down. Evan Taylor, the reserve cornerback, with the stop.
Haven't seen a ton of second and shorts for the Princeton offense. They've been behind the chains, if you will, and kind of off script from an offensive coordinator and playbook perspective. This opens it up a little bit on 2nd and 2. They've got to get going on the ground, though.
See if they give it to Clark here. They fake the give to Clark. Colon downfield, one-on-one, fires, complete. First down, Princeton, a big catch for Jackson Green.
You talk about using your body to shield a defender. How about this? Jackson Green comes up, makes a huge play. The two-sport athlete showing what he can do on the outside.
When you ask for the comp, Bob Serace compares Jackson Green to Jesper Horsted mainly because of the body control.
Definitely not the jersey number.
First down and goal. Here's a give. Up the middle, Ethan Clark, who ran for 117 yards in his first career touchdown against Mercer last year.
Yeah, Horsted was such an impressive receiver. Also wore number 4 for the Tigers. Had a stint in the NFL for the Chicago Bears as well. But Jackson Green, exactly what Princeton needed, riding that momentum off the big interception to get into the red zone.
Some momentum finally for the Princeton Tigers as we hit the 2-minute timeout. Princeton down 3 scores, but they'll have a 2nd and goal from the 5 when we get back. It'll be Princeton football, 2nd down and goal from the 5 as we welcome you back late second quarter. If you take that 13-yard run earlier in the half by Kai Honda out of the equation, Dave, the Tigers' longest run today, 2 yards.
Asher Weiner, the third quarterback on the field, lined up at tight end in this formation.
Kai Colon will come out at quarterback, and he's going to empty the backfield. Man in motion, that's Clark. Give to the running back. Plunges up ahead, picks up a couple, brought down at the 3. Now 3rd down and goal.
And what's interesting is Asher Weiner does come down here and do design QB draws towards the goal line, but normally on his own, not in a 2-quarterback set.
Mercer's rushing defense, they've held 3 of their last 4 opponents under 100 yards. Last year, they were the #1 rush defense in the country. This year, not far off that pace. Lorio in motion, 3rd down and goal. Clark trying to find some real estate, drags a defender, knocked down at the 2.
keep thinking his forward momentum's taking him to the 1, and it's just a 1-yard carry after 1-yard carry. We'll take a look here. Great job up front by the Mercer defense. Looks like he got to the 1.5 at least. They haven't placed the ball on the turf yet.
Princeton has 1 timeout remaining. You wonder if they're going to run the clock down and then take it. Princeton will get the football to start the second half. This is by far the deepest the Tigers' drive has made it into Mercer territory, and Bob Sorace does take the final timeout.
And like a jumbo package, max block, and a QB draw here. Maybe in the in the shotgun formation, see if you can't get a back to lead the quarterback into the end zone if you're Princeton.
36 seconds to go, 21-0 Mercer on top, but the Tigers will face 4th down and goal at the Mercer 2. They had 1st down and goal from the Mercer 5.
Yeah, this would be a gigantic 6 points if they're able to get it, knowing they get the ball back coming out of the locker room in the 3rd quarter.
Esteban Nunez-Perez is out there swinging the leg, and we see their long snapper practicing. That's Logan Rager with Brady Clark, the holder. You wonder if maybe that's just to deceive the Bears, and Princeton will send the offense back out. You're down 3 scores.
Yep, no Asher Weiner on the field. It is Kai Cologne with trips left. See if they maybe motion in, but this is not the jumbo package.
Robinson, Lorio, and Green bunched up left, and now Robinson motions. Here's Cologne, 7 or 8 man rush over the middle, complete, touchdown Princeton. Aiden Besselman, the junior, with his first career touchdown catch. And boy, did the Tigers need that. Princeton on the scoreboard here late in the first half.
How about that play call? Passing game has not been what the Tigers have wanted thus far, but they go to the air inside the 5-yard line. I actually thought he missed Robinson.
Thought he was looking for Robinson.
Threw it behind him, but Besselman was trailing. So a good play design to kind of flood from left to right and give Cologne some options. And he picks option number 3, Aiden Besselman.
Aiden Besselman, the 6'1 junior out of Upper St. Clair in Pittsburgh, with his 4th career catch, 1st career touchdown. Princeton on the scoreboard. The Tigers will get the football to start the second half, so some momentum for the orange and black.
What you have to be careful with here, with 33 seconds to go, is a big return by one of the best return men in the country, Braden Smith, on this kickoff. Because 33 seconds, if you have a short field, is plenty of time for a big-armed quarterback like Braden Atkinson to take a shot. So you're happy if you go to the, given the way the game's going, albeit, go to the locker room down 2 scores knowing you're getting the ball back. But 33 seconds, got to be careful about this dangerous return game for the Mercer Bears.
Kai Cologne today, 6 of 11, 47 yards, and his 3rd passing touchdown of the season. Princeton's 2 quarterbacks, 8 for 16, just 66 yards, but the 2-yard strike from Cologne to Besselman. And Princeton on the scoreboard as Kluski tees it up.
Relatively calm wind-wise.
Keep an eye on number 9, Braden Smith. This one returnable, and it's a low kick, so he'll have a head of steam. Up across the 30, he took a punt back for 6 last year, and this time Princeton minimizes the damage.
Yeah, good job there by the coverage team. You get nervous when you see a low line drive kick to a return man like Smith, but Princeton able to mitigate any damage there. And I think Mercer will be happy taking a knee here and going into the locker room, but we'll see.
Mercer in the first half has outgained Princeton 265 to 72. 4 Princeton sacks, 3 Princeton fumbles, a couple of turnovers after they coughed it up 6 times last year. They're going to come out with the offense. Dowdy in the backfield. You wonder if they hand it off and see if he can break anything. Atkinson, hand Dowdy, looking for a seam left. Gain of 7 or 8 on the first down run. Mercer's got 3 timeouts, and they're not going to take any.
Yeah, if they were going to be aggressive, they'd take a timeout, and looks like they do.
Mercer.
Could have taken it 5-6 seconds earlier.
Shows you the confidence the Bears have in their offense, right? 21-7 lead, take the knee, take the 2-score lead into the locker room. This team looking to see what they can do.
When you play for Jim Tressel at Ohio State, I don't think you ever take the foot off the gas pedal. So not too surprised. I mean, I assumed they would take the knee and go into the locker room, but this philosophy doesn't shock me. Mike Jacobs knows how to win, knows how to keep the pressure on the opponent, and this is one of the ways to do it. Don't make anything easy.
C.J. Miller in the backfield. Albee the tight end with 3 wideouts. It'll be 2nd down and 2 from the 44. Princeton's only got 2 down linemen. Smith in motion. With 14 seconds to go in the half, over the middle. First down, Albee the tight end.
And again, they've hit a 50-yard field goal this year, so you know this doesn't mean they're going for 6, as the wind does pick up here in Princeton as the flags start waving a bit.
Second for the half.
Hey, you mentioned a 51-yard field goal. Reese Griffith, the junior from Pace, Florida, connected from 51 a couple weeks ago. That tied the school record. The wind is blowing left to right in the direction Mercer's going. So not against him, not with him. 51-yard field goal, that would get them, where would they have to get for that?
Now I'm a math major in the booth. I think they need a good 15 yards to be comfortable with a long field goal attempt.
C.J. Miller, the running back, 1 timeout remaining for the Bears. It'll be 1st down and 10, 10 seconds to go. At the Tiger 48. Braden Atkinson, the freshman. Over the middle, Albee, the tight end, a little bit of contact and a penalty. That's going to be on Ronquillo, and that'll certainly get him into field goal range.
That's going to be a spot foul. And he just got the feet tangled up before the ball.
Defense, number 38, 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Ronquillo, 5'9", 175. Albee, 6'5", 235.
Yep, so the 15 yards will get them
right about to Reese Griffith's range.
Yeah.
Do you have time for one more play and then you bring him out? You've got a timeout.
It looks like they're going to do that. I mean, that's not a given with 5 seconds.
Princeton in prevent defense. Miller, the running back. Atkinson. They're not going to have time. He's going to throw it up into the end zone. And the Tigers, just like they did to seal the Columbia victory, they bat it down. Evan Haney, who had a big interception to set up the touchdown, with the breakup, and the mentality must have been, we're not in field goal range, so that's the only shot.
Yeah, they take a shot, but how about to go from maybe taking a knee to really making Princeton sweat there at the end? That's the mentality that Mercer approaches this game with as they go into the locker room up 2 scores.
The 19th ranked Mercer Bears, the defending Southern Conference champions, coming out swinging in their first ever trip to the Garden State. After a 21-0 lead, Princeton gets one back, but a 2-score Bears lead as we head into the locker room here in Princeton. Halftime here under rainy skies of the Garden State. 19th ranked Mercer on top of Princeton 21-7 as we take a look at the first half highlights presented by graduate Princeton. Mercer jumping out to a big lead.
Yeah, they got the opening kickoff and made the most of it as Atkinson found Malik Simmons from 2 yards out to get the scoring going and put the Bears up 7-0. It was a missed field goal with a running into the kicker call that set up Mercer again for C.J. Miller to pound it into the end zone from 5 yards out. This was a backbreaker. It was Adonis McDaniel down the field for a gigantic gain. McDaniel got injured on the play, but Mercer came right back with Albie, the tight end, down the seams. And a great job to put up Mercer 21-0. Everything going Mercer's way until Evan Haney tracks down one, and the interception gets it back into Mercer territory. The interception, exactly what the Tigers needed. Jackson Green gets it into the red zone, and then Kai Colon on a big down gets it to Besselman. 21-7 as we hit the break, with Princeton getting the ball to start the third quarter.
First half stats presented by Ironworkers Local 399, local skilled craftsmen who are building Princeton's future. No real surprise that top line. Mercer, last year the nation's #1 rushing defense. They come in 6th in the country today. First downs lopsided for the Bears. Princeton was able to get time of possession a little bit closer to even. Relatively cleanly played game, although the Tigers have fumbled 3 times.
Yeah, and the turnover, the one next to Princeton's a little misleading. Yes, they haven't given up possession more than once, but Mercer's been so disruptive in the backfield, and some of those will show up on the stats in terms of forced fumbles that Princeton was able to recover for the most part. But what doesn't is just how uncomfortable the Princeton quarterbacks are trying to get the passing game going from the pocket.
Mercer winners of 4 in a row after dropping not their season opener. Their season opener was called due to weather midway through the 4th quarter, but they dropped the Week 2 matchup against Presbyterian to fall to 0-1. Since then, 4 straight wins, all in conference play. Princeton, similar scenario, a 1-touchdown loss against San Diego at home a few weeks ago. That was a game where the Tigers led by 3 touchdowns on 2 separate occasions. Always tough when you're going out there against a team like San Diego that had already played 3 games. The Ivy League, of course, starting later. And since that setback, back-to-back wins. So 2 teams looking to extend winning streaks. 2 teams that go right back into conference play next week.
Yeah, I thought Princeton showed really good toughness, mental toughness, coming back from that second half collapse against San Diego to get 2 straight wins.
Kickoff goes out of the back of the end zone from Reese Griffith. And the Tigers will start off at the 25-yard line. A chance to make it a 1-score game after they fell behind 3 scores early.
Yeah, they've had a really one chunk play to Jackson Green in the air. They're going to have to find something there in the passing game to complete a comeback against such a talented defense. But it's really going to come down to the offensive line keeping the quarterbacks clean, which is easier said than done against this defensive line from Mercer.
Robinson in motion, first down give. Ethan Clark, there's a nice chunk of yards for the junior running back. Picks up 11 and moves the chains. Drew Clare on the tackle. Clark, his longest run in the first half on 4 carries was 2 yards, but he went off down in Macon against the Bears last year for 117 and a touchdown.
Yeah, Princeton's really been rotating 3 backs this year.
1 play, 1 first down. Colon rolling right. Has a man, Lorio, first down, gets the sideline, spun out of bounds, but 2 plays, 2 first downs for Princeton. And for Roman Lorio, that's his 2nd catch of the contest.
And a good play design on the right side. Lorio was open. That throw was actually a little late, but was able to squeeze it in there, and Lorio's able to shed a tackle and turn upfield for another first down. And this is really the most methodically Princeton's moved the ball this game.
Princeton had 72 total yards in the first half. They've got 23 on 2 plays. Right back to Clark, and the junior out of Clarkston, Michigan, plunges ahead for 4 on the first down carry.
And that's what you need to see, is 4 yards per carry and not 1 or 2 to keep yourself ahead of the chains in terms of play calling.
Ethan Clark last year, coming into that Week 4 matchup against Mercer, had just 12 total career carries. Princeton went down there, no John Volker, no Darion Murphy. That one pops free, was his hand going forward. Mercer pointing the other way. Mercer running away with the football, and it's Mercer football, the 4th Princeton fumble of the contest, recovered by Julian Fox, the linebacker.
You see, off the edge, just a tremendous job by this defense.
Carmelo O'Neal, the pressure.
O'Neal, the corner, 6'4", 200. Goes without saying, he uses the long arms well off the edge. A little bit of a delayed blitz off the side. And again, you just have to assume if you're a Princeton quarterback, whether you're, Hippa or Cologne, that you have 3 seconds. And if not, do not leave the ball kind of unprotected, because this is just collapsing. The pocket's collapsing way too fast.
5 sacks, 3 of them have resulted in the football down on the carpet. First down, give Dowdy. Cutback run for the converted receiver. Wearing number 80, but he has been lining up as a traditional running back, and he picks up 4 or 5 before being tackled by Nasir Hill.
And how hard is it, just going back to the Princeton offense, to try to get stuff going down the field, but you don't have time for a true 3-5 step drop? I mean, that's an impossible puzzle to solve without protection up front.
Princeton last year gave up 44 sacks. That was the second most in the nation, more than double anybody else in the Ivy League. After allowing 6 sacks against San Diego in the opener, they had played pretty clean the past 2 weeks. In traffic, that's Smith. And Braden Smith, the junior, who picks up his 3rd catch of the day, will move the chains. First down, Mercer.
You see how shifty Smith is in space. Does a nice job of reading the blocks and cutting it back upfield.
Talk about him in space. He does as good a job as anyone we've seen of creating space. First down, Bears at the Princeton 36 after the strip sack. Complete out into the flat. Dowdy out of the backfield, hit hard by Ronquillo. Picks up 9, and that'll set up second down and short. And now the playbook wide open.
Wide open, and Mercer already knocking on the door of the red zone after the fumble. Dowdy can do so much. Just a complete offensive skill set.
2nd and 2, they give to Dowdy. Cutback run and a first down inside the 25. Braden Atkinson in the first half, the true freshman quarterback out of Rollsville, North Carolina, 18 for 28, 225 yards, 2 touchdowns, and just his 4th interception in 5 starts. Talked about last year, they went away from their signal caller, DJ Smith. He got banged up early. And then Whit Neubauer, who last year was a freshman, came in late against Princeton, went 7 for 11, rushed for a touchdown. He's gone. He transferred to Oklahoma. He's backing up John Mateer, the Heisman candidate. Pass out top side, Ajante Dabbs. And another first down inside the Princeton 10. Nasir Hill eventually got him down. But you bring a freshman quarterback in Neubauer. He transfers after winning the starting job, winning the SoCon title, taking you to the NCAA tournament. You replace him with Braden Atkinson, who coming into the day, 2nd in the nation in yards per game passing. He's a true freshman.
He doesn't look like one, that's for sure. What a job by Dabbs with the yards after the catch.
Play fake over the middle. Would have been a touchdown off the hands of Dabbs. Incomplete.
Yeah, I think both players would like to have that back. Atkinson throws it slightly behind Dabbs, as you'll see here. Wide open, but one that the receiver more often than not comes down with, regardless of it being thrown a step behind.
One player we haven't seen out there since he left in the 2nd quarter with an injury, junior wideout Adonis McDaniel, who hauled in a 56-yard completion. Looked like he landed on his shoulder and had to be helped off the field. 2nd down and goal from the 10. Atkinson surveys over the middle, throws it behind his intended target, but Smith hauls it in for the touchdown. And the Bears have a 3-score lead once again.
And after the optimism of the touchdown before the half and knowing you get the ball back after halftime, Princeton coughs it up and Mercer makes them pay. Goes right down the field, and a great catch by Smith in securing that one. 2 throws in a row behind the receivers. That one, it didn't matter.
So Atkinson is looking to improve to 5-0 as a starter in his freshman season. Now 3 touchdowns or more, 4 of the first 5. He's also flirting with 300 yards. Extra point by Griffith is good, and it's back to a 21-point lead.
That's a tall hill to climb if you're Princeton. Every drive from here on out's a must score, and you're going to have to force some turnovers, but everything going the Bears' way. The pocket is collapsing. The Bears making the Tigers pay 28-7 here in the third quarter.
Mercer with the 7-play, 46-yard touchdown drive, capped by the completion. Atkinson to Smith to put him back up by 3 touchdowns, 28-7 the score. Let's go down to Stephen on the sideline.
Yeah, Cody, the Mercer locker room was very calm and collected during halftime, and head coach Mike Jacobs was extremely complimentary about the first half his team played, even in spite of the way the first half ended. He said that there was a lot of urgency and intensity. He wants to see more of that in the second half, and he put a lot of emphasis on having a good defensive series to start the second half. So based on the way things have gone so far here in this third quarter, you got to think he's really pleased with the start of this quarter.
Steven covering this one fairly, even though he's a little bit upset that Mercer didn't invite him to game night last night at the hotel.
Yeah, game night. It's something that they try to do often, every road game pretty much. They'll play Uno, Spades, Connect Four, just to get some off-the-field bonding going with the team. And the biggest part about this, guys, no phones allowed on family game night.
3-score lead for the Bears. Kickoff. One hops out of the back of the end zone, and the Tigers will take over at the 25. It was 21-0 Bears out of the gate. Princeton turned the Evan Haney interception into a touchdown catch by Besselman. Cut it to 2, got the opening kickoff, but another turnover early in this third quarter. Mercer able to capitalize. This one starting to feel similar to last year's 34-7 Mercer win in Macon.
Yeah, gonna have to rely on quick routes, quick slants to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands in a hurry. Anything past 3 seconds and you can assume somebody's throwing an arm at the quarterback.
Blaine Hippa back in at quarterback. Man in motion is Caldwell. The handoff up the middle. Looks like Darion Murphy with a flag coming in behind the play. Miles Dixon, freshman defensive tackle, with the stop as we wait for the call from Henry Wimberg, our referee.
Holding. Defense, number 4. 10-yard penalty. First down.
It came from the back, Judge, and you heard somebody yell, how is there holding on a run play? That was well away from the play.
So first down, that'll make it first down and 10 up to the 37. Murphy the running back, Caldwell the man in motion. Hippa, the senior southpaw, rolling left side, fires sideline, dangerous pass looking for Lorio. Incomplete, broken up by KJ Thomas, the freshman.
Yeah, Hippa had time here rolling out to his strong side, the left side, but a little bit of a tough throw. Both players laying out for that one. That was one where Hippa may have been better off tucking and trying to run.
Bunch formation on second down and 10 from the Tiger 37. Four-man rush, Hippa looking downfield, another dangerous throw, this time looking for Besselman with Hutchinson in coverage.
And that one just off target. You got to take advantage of these pass plays when you do have the protection to go through your progressions. And that one just overthrown, but that was about as clean of a pocket as we've seen today.
Princeton, who came into this one 49% on third down, top 10 in the nation, just 2 for 8 today. So struggling in an area of the game that they've really been successful in. Launches it up, Robinson, one-on-one coverage, in stride, first down, Princeton inside the Mercer 30. Blaine Hippa to Josh Robinson, the reigning Ivy League Rookie of the Week.
And that's about as good of a throw that we've seen Blaine Hippa have today, maybe in his career, in terms of touch, distance. I mean, Robinson just runs right underneath it. What a toss from the lefty.
38 yards, longest play of the day for the Tigers offense. That'll set them up first and 10 at the Mercer 25. Four-man rush, looking end zone, far side. Tigers have a beat on it, and it's incomplete. Looking for Paul Keener, the sprinter. Another well-thrown ball and a well-designed play.
Really well-thrown ball. Beautiful spiral, perfect touch. Keener, you wonder if he could have gotten two hands on it or if he thinks that left hand was being held, but a beautiful throw again by Hippa, which gives you a little bit of optimism about this passing game.
Hippa just 3 for 9, but has thrown a couple of really good balls on this drive. On the ground, Murphy, rushing yards. So tough to come by against this Mercer defense. Princeton today, 17 rush attempts, just 19 yards.
Yeah, it's been tough sledding, literally, for the run game. And then it's been the pass rush that's prevented the passing game from getting going, other than that play we saw to Robinson.
Another third down and 8 for the Tigers. Robinson in motion. Four-man rush, quick hit. Robinson inside the 20, short of the first down marker where he's ramped up by Watkins.
This will be interesting from Princeton. Field goals aren't going to get you the comeback.
Yeah, they're going to keep the offense out on the field. Fourth down and manageable. 4th down and 4. Murphy stays in the backfield. 3 wideouts bunched right.
Already a mismatch in terms of numbers on the right side as Robinson goes in motion.
On 4th down, Hippa, 2-step drop, running. Gets away from Zock. Gets away from the second tackler. Throws the ball out of bounds, so avoids the turnover on the fumble, but it's a turnover on down. Swain on the pressure. This Mercer defense so tough. You get away from Zock, and there's big number 91 in pursuit.
And they do a great job. Hippa's looking right, but they flush him out left, which takes him away from the mismatch in terms of numbers. And how disruptive is Zock and the rest of this defensive front? It's scary sledding.
Turnover on downs. Mercer will get the football back up on Princeton 28-7. A look at the Ivy League standings presented by RWJ Barnabas Health, the official healthcare system of Princeton Athletics. Harvard after a 34-10 victory in Cambridge over Cornell last night. All alone atop the early season Ivy standings. Penn, Princeton, and Yale all 1-0. As we look at the other 2 games today, there were 3 games last night. The only Ivy on Ivy was Harvard taking down Cornell. Yale and Dartmouth early second quarter scoreless in Hanover. Columbia against 7th-ranked Lehigh, just 11 passing yards in the first half. They're without their starting quarterback Chase Goodwin today, it appears, but that one all Mountain Hawks in Manhattan, 31-7 in the third quarter. Back here in Princeton, Mercer gets the football back after the turnover on downs, over the middle, complete. Apollos Cook, reserve tight end, gets it up to the 24.
Mercer doing a nice job of just making easy passes in the middle of the field. They're getting what they want in terms of these short to mid-range routes, and just methodically 5 yards at a time. Seems like they can get 5 yards whenever they need it today.
10 different receivers, 3 different tight ends have caught passes from Atkinson. Delay, Miller trying to pick his way left, gains just a yard where he runs into junior defensive end Aaron Richard. And a 3rd down and 4 coming up for the Bears.
Big 3rd down here for the Princeton defense. Mercer already made Princeton pay here in the 3rd quarter. Princeton would love to stop this drive in its tracks, but we know Mercer's done a great job converting on 3rd down today.
Bakari Edwards, Sekou Rowland, Tyler Morris check in. Tigers send 4. 3rd down and 4. Atkinson steps up, fires, complete. Travion Solomon, 1st down, Bears.
How about the poise from the true freshman quarterback on this one, navigating the pocket well, gets a glimpse of an open receiver, and with the flick of a wrist, as he's starting to escape to the left, throws to the center of the field. Beautiful job to keep the chains moving.
3rd catch of the day for Solomon, the Macon, Georgia native out of Northeast High School, where he was an all-state quarterback. Bouncing back after missing all year with an injury. The give swallowed up by Princeton. Miller going nowhere. He's going to lose a couple yards. Pigford, another Georgia native, with the stop.
Great job by Pigford. Getting past the blockers and into the backfield before CJ can get going.
Pigford, we talked about what he did back at his home state against Mercer last year. We didn't talk about the interception against Columbia last week.
Acrobatic.
Deflected it at the Columbia goal line and set up an easy touchdown run. 2nd down and 12, Atkinson, clean pocket downfield, triple coverage, wedges it in for Dabbs. Deep into Princeton territory, down the seam, gain of about 42 yards.
Not many
right
more
on the money.
No more superlatives left in my vocabulary to explain how impressed I am with the true freshman quarterback. He drops it in there. You talk about triple coverage. Dabbs does a nice job of creating, I don't know if you want to call that separation, but regardless, good concentration to come down with that one.
40 yards at Jonte Dabbs. Now 3 catches for 78 yards. He's their leading receiver. Mercer trying to get their largest lead of the game. Bubble screen. Javarius George, the slot man, tripped up. Nearly broke it. He gets tripped up by Nate Stoll, the defensive lineman.
And Stoll saves a touchdown there, but it's a design screen, as you can tell, as the blocks move to the outside. Great job of navigating the defense by George.
George, the 11th different Mercer Bear to catch a pass today from Atkinson, who's 24 of 35. He's got his 4th 300-yard game. He's got his 4th 3-touchdown game. 1st and goal from the 10. And around. Coming near side, one man to beat, and Dabbs walks into the end zone. Touchdown Bears, and they have their largest lead of the contest.
Beautiful play design on the end around, and Casey Etienne is just on an island out there, and there's no stopping that train because it's coming right down the tracks. Great job by Dabbs. What a game he's had.
People watched the opener where they fell way behind UC Davis and then a 15-10 loss to Presbyterian, and the talk was, okay, maybe Mercer lost a little bit more than we thought.
Not so much.
Covered far from bare. Griffith puts it through with the left foot, 35-7. Bears on top. 4:39 to go, 3rd quarter. We'll step away.
Great job by the true freshman. He's having a day up here in the Garden State. 35-7, all Mercer.
35-7, Bears on top. Storybook season continues for Braden Atkinson, the true freshman out of Rolesville, North Carolina, who opened the season as DJ Smith's backup. Took over the starting job week 3 in the SoCon opener against Wofford, and what a start he got off to. 83% in his 2nd start. Let a come-from-behind win against East Tennessee. Last week, his best game of the year against Samford, 365 yards and 5 touchdowns. You can see what he's done today, and that bottom line tells the story. Mercer quarterbacks through 6 games have been sacked twice for 8 yards.
It's crazy. I don't think the quarterback room even does laundry. I mean, they are so clean. They have such poise in the pocket, and Atkinson's done a great job. Listed at 6'1", 215. He plays like he's 6'5". Just a true field general, and again, just can't believe we're looking at a true freshman out there.
Kenny Jordan, a yard deep in the end zone. The sophomore running back gets met and dropped. Good team tackling on special teams by the Bears, and Princeton backed up at the 15-yard line.
Great coverage downfield. You see McNally coming off the field. Great energy from the sideline, regardless that they're up 35-7. This coaching staff pumped up. You'd think they're in a tie game for the conference championship, the energy with which they're coaching.
McNally, the redshirt freshman, Georgia product. So Princeton backed up. The Tigers scored late in the 4th quarter, and then Mercer almost struck back as time expired. Blaine Hippa in at quarterback, handoff on first down. Clark trying to move his legs. Nice chunky yards by the junior. Picks up 5 or 6 on the first down carry. Actually, that was Honda. Kai Honda, the Tigers' leading rusher today, 33 yards on 5 carries.
Kai Honda, just a sophomore and a bright future the way he runs the ball.
Second down and 4. Crossing route, here's Robinson trying to get to the sideline, spun off a tackle and then gets driven back, but with progress should have plenty for the first down. Brought down by KJ Thomas, the freshman cornerback who's had a great game defensively.
Good job by Hippa finding Robinson in stride, a little bit behind Robinson, but Robinson does a nice job of continuing his forward momentum.
First down and 10, Tigers. Robinson, their leading receiver for the second straight week. 6 catches, 60 yards. Earlier this week, took home Ivy League Rookie of the Week honors. Play fake. Finally a clean pocket downfield. Looking for Asher Weiner, and they're going to throw the flag likely on Princeton.
That looked like offensive pass interference.
Tangled up, to say the least, against Donovan Watkins, the Sam linebacker, number 4. Asher Weiner listed as a quarterback. He's been lining up at tight end a lot. He's scored a couple of touchdowns in running situations.
Mercer, the way they're yelling sounds like they expect this to be on the defense, and they're not happy about it, and rightfully so. And now it looks like
Pass interference. Defense, number 4. 15-yard penalty. First down.
To the naked eye, it certainly didn't look that way. Let's take another look.
It looked like defensive pass interference at first and then finished with offensive pass interference. I mean, that is
I feel like you could either call that on Weiner
or nobody.
I feel like, yeah, surprised they called it on anyone. Mike Jacobs furious, and he's got a case.
He's got a really good case. I mean, that is just not the right call. Weiner started playing defense and holding, 10 yards before the ball got there.
Tigers catch a break. Robinson in motion. The give to Honda running right, and that's snuffed out immediately. Drew Clare, inside linebacker, the redshirt junior from Alpharetta, Georgia, the team's leading tackler with the stop. Clare last week, career day, 12 tackles. That was a career high, including 3 tackles for a loss in that conference victory against Samford.
And while that penalty obviously gives yardage to Princeton, it might energize this defense because they are fired up about it.
Hippa on second down and 9. Zock's got him. Ball pops loose. Helmet goes flying.
It's going to be a face mask.
Mercer maybe a little bit too fired up.
Well, I think
foul, face mask, defense, number 0, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. Number 2 may stay in the game.
Zock knew it right away. Take a look. He just hand in the wrong spot, and he follows through, which made it look a lot worse. And I think once your hand's kind of locked up in there, it's hard to get it out. And Zock knew it right away, kind of pointed at his own chest. And they say Hippa can stay in the game because normally if your helmet comes off, you have to sit out a play, but not in that case.
Caldwell in motion, handoff Kai Honda, nothing.
The space was on the outside. Mercer just does a nice job of bracketing Honda and not allowing him to take that jab step to the left.
Isaac Prince has been all over the field for this Mercer defense. For Prince, that's his 6th tackle.
Robinson comes back in for the Tigers.
Princeton, we mentioned it, no Jalen Gear, their most experienced receiver. No Charlie Rossi, another veteran.
Lorio really playing that X-receiver on the outside today.
Second down and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Kai Honda slips his way through for a few yards before he's brought down by Zock.
So it will be 3rd and 5 for the Tigers, and a huge 3rd down in Mercer territory. Again, this is 4-down territory. So you could see a run play here to try to get 3 or 4.
Empty backfield with Honda motioned out wide left. 4 down linemen, 3rd down and 5 from the 37. Here's Hippa, has an opening, trying to get to the perimeter, and he can't get there. Caleb Hutchinson, the safety.
How about
closeout speed?
Exactly right. Running downhill, Hippa looked like he was deciding which way to cut, and it was just too little, too late. What a job, the closing speed and short tackling.
That's probably what Blaine Hippa generally does best.
It is.
Tigers down big 35-7, have no choice but to keep the offense out on the field as we hit 30 seconds to go in the 3rd. Hippa, quick hit over the middle for Robinson, incomplete. Turnover on downs once again, and that's the Sam linebacker, Donovan Watkins, breaking it up.
And no flag. It looked like might have gotten there a little early, but it's a bang-bang play, no flags. And Mercer will take over. What a job this defense has done, overcoming that pass interference call that went the wrong way for sure.
Atkinson at 321 passing yards. His career high set last week, 365. He's got 3 passing touchdowns, 2 shy of his career high. Tyrell Cord in at running back. Play fake. Screen pass complete. Javarius George, redshirt freshman out of Dallas, Georgia. And a 1st down for the Bears. 19 seconds going. Clock stops as they move the chains.
So impressed. It just seems like the game slows down for Atkinson as he surveys the defense.
Screen pass left side, right back to George. Escorted out by Ronquillo, and that'll be the final play. Nope. Went out of bounds, so the clock will stop with 1 second to go. 3rd catch of the day for George. His longest has gone for 12 yards, and the clock winds as they spot the football. And the 3rd quarter comes to an end, but Mercer, who had a 21-7 lead at the half, tacking on 2 more 3rd quarter scores. And it's been all Bears as 19th ranked Mercer leads big at the end of 3. Princeton 1-0 in Ivy League play today, their non-conference finale. 3 of the next 4 on the road for Bob Cerace's squad, starting next Saturday in Providence on the road against a Brown team that, after they beat a top 10 opponent for the first time since 1981 when they knocked off Rhode Island last week, they finished the Ocean State sweep on the road against Bryant with a victory last night. So Brown 3-1 on the season under former Princeton offensive coordinator James Perry, and then Harvard at home. Harvard, the lone Ivy League team that's ranked heading into this weekend.
Yeah, Brown making short order of the Ocean State. Not the biggest state in the world. You can drive through it in about 45 minutes, and Brown taking care of 2 in-state rivals in successive weeks.
Tyrell Cord finding a seam, rushing for the 1st down inside the 30, 1 man to beat. Caught from behind to the 15 by Ronquillo, who's hit double-digit tackles for the first time in his career. But Tyrell Cord, the longest run of the season for the junior from Charlotte.
Mercer just doing everything right. How about the blocking? Really untouched to the 3rd level, running in between the tackles.
From the Tiger 13, Atkinson hit, fires, leaping grab, dabs. Ball pops loose. They're going to say it's an incomplete pass. Incredible effort by the redshirt sophomore to climb the ladder, and then it's broken up by Chris Oliver. Rolling on the field, incomplete.
Just when it looked like there was a broken play, Atkinson still almost completes that one to Dabbs. And what a great job by Princeton in breaking that up. But Atkinson, just with the concentration, getting hit to even deliver an accurate pass there is tremendous.
I don't know that I can think of another play where he's ended up on the turf today. 2nd down and 10 from the 13, so Mercer can pick up a first down. Pressured, hit again into the end zone, knocked away by Hill, incomplete, looking for Simmons. Caden Wright applying the pressure on the quarterback, Atkinson.
Yeah, 2 straight QB pressures and hits for the Princeton Tigers, and again, a well-delivered ball, and Hill just does just enough, kind of the windshield wiper, to distract the receiver from what could have been an easy touchdown. So 3rd down here for Mercer.
The Bears 5 for 8 on 3rd down, which tells you how scarcely they've been in a 3rd down situation. Pass incomplete, a lot of contact, Dabbs. Broken up by Haney, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And 3 straight passes that should have been caught.
Right there, hit him in the numbers.
Right there.
It's about the only mistake Dabbs has made today. He's had a great contest. 3 catches, 78 yards, plus a rushing touchdown on an end around. 30-yard field goal, Reese Griffith. It's interesting, he's 7 for 9, but his 2 misses have come from short range. That one splits the uprights, and it puts Mercer up 38-7. So Griffith, a junior out of Pace High School in Florida, 8 for 10 this year.
Yeah, Mercer would have loved to come away with 6 and had their chances to do just that, but nevertheless, they come away with 3. Go up to 38 points. And Mike Jacobs talking to the officials. I don't know if he's still talking about the pass interference call, but he might be.
Mike Jacobs, barring an unmitigated disaster today, will improve his head coaching record, 10 seasons, 3 stops, to 90-21.
It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. He's talked earlier this week about kind of this new age of college football with the portal. Talked about, you know, he'll take D2 guys, D1 guys, but he said he wants players that have been on the field in college football, not just guys that may have been on the roster on a named school, a Power 5, but guys that have played college football and made an impact.
And you can see that up and down the roster as the kickoff one hops out of the end zone. Adonis McDaniel, who had a big first half before leaving with an injury, he was originally recruited by Jacobs at his last stop, Division II Lenoir-Rhyne. He was an all-conference player there. You look up and down the defense, a couple of transfers that have played big roles today. Caleb Hutchinson from Coastal Carolina. Justin Gilbert, one of their defensive tackles, played some significant snaps at Division II Savannah State. Braden Dudley, their defensive end, 3 seasons at West Virginia. Handoff. New running back for the Tigers. That's Christian Lynch with his first carry as a flag comes in.
This looks like it's in the area of offensive holding. We'll see what the call is.
Holding, offense, number 57, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Jaden Wedderburn, senior left guard out of Glassboro, New Jersey.
Take another look, and he just brings down the tackle. Easy call there from the back judge.
So Lynch in at running back. We see Landon DePrima, the sophomore, number 23, wide left. First down and 20, looking DePrima. First career catch for the Tigers sophomore wideout, who was a prolific high school quarterback at Ramapo High School in North Jersey. His brother, Charlie DePrima, longtime or former Harvard quarterback. Landon originally committed to Harvard.
A little intra-family rivalry now.
Second down and 12, rolling right, Cologne. Lynch going with them, some contact, and he fires out of bounds. Dan Hicks in pursuit. Redshirt senior defensive end, transfer from Division II Westchester.
Everyone always assumes the transfer portal is either lateral or down. You can transfer up. And Coach Jacobs has had a really, really successful route for those guys.
Recent example at Princeton, Jalen Travis graduates, plays his final season at Iowa State, is selected by the Colts in the 4th round. Cologne over the middle, has a seam, has a first down. Besselman, who caught the Lone Tigers touchdown in the first half. Big 3rd down conversion for the Tigers as they try to get something going.
Yeah, that's a big chunk play on 3rd down, something we haven't seen a lot of today. Cologne, again, it's all about time in the pocket. Receivers will get open at this level, but you've got to have more than 2.5 seconds.
Christian Lynch still in at running back. They've got a lot of underclassmen out there. Robinson, the freshman, wide right. Charlie Kaludis, the freshman tight end, off the right tackle. Poor Benny. Princeton looking for their first points here in the second half. Handoff Lynch. Up the middle, gets a block, has the first down across midfield, spun into Mercer territory by Hutchinson.
Great job by Lynch here, following his blocks, weaving through traffic, and finding some open space to move the chains and cross the midfield line for the Tigers.
Christian Lynch, sophomore running back out of Youngstown, Ohio. That's his longest career carry. "12 minutes to go in the contest. Tigers from the Mercer 48. Kaludis, the motion man. Back to Lynch, and too much penetration as he gets wrapped up and dropped by Prince.
Great pursuit across the line of scrimmage by Prince and the rest of this Mercer front.
It's tough when the second wave of tacklers is already in the backfield.
It is tough. They're getting the first and second level behind the line of scrimmage immediately.
Lynch comes up behind the left tackle, looking to leak out left. Cologne over the middle, fires complete. Harris first down. He gets hit hard, but has his second catch of the day. Andrew Zock bearing down on Cologne, and he delivered a strike.
Delivered a strike in about a half second more, and it might have been another forced fumble by this defensive line, but good poise by Cologne to get in there, and what a job to move the chains. Jackson Green back at receiver for the Tigers.
First down in the 10. Cologne looking far side. Harris again, first down. Back-to-back catches for Harris. Sophomore wideout out of St. Louis University High School in Missouri.
Take another look. Again, Cologne has time, surveys the defense. Some missed coverage downfield, and Princeton makes Mercer pay.
This is Princeton's best drive of the second half. Weiner comes in at quarterback. Designed run left with authority, lowers the shoulder. And on first down and 10, gets dangerously close to the first down marker.
Yes, so they mix it up. Weiner with the designed run. Kai Cologne was split out right as a receiver. We've seen Weiner playing receiver today. And a good read off the left side.
Second down and 1, so the playbook wide open with Lynch in the backfield. Weiner back at tight end, Cologne back behind the center, Becker. On second down and 1, looking end zone, slant for Lorio, and it's broken up. 3 white jerseys in the vicinity, led by the 6'4" corner, Carmelo O'Neal.
Carmelo O'Neal, I mean, he can be behind the receiver and he still makes an impact. He just goes up there and taps the ball. He's just a matchup nightmare. I don't know, Jalen Gear is obviously Princeton's biggest receiver in terms of height. O'Neal listed at 6'4", and it's a tall 6'4".
Weiner back at quarterback. Lynch sidecar right as they motion Wassler. Running right, cutting center. Weiner has the first down. So a third down conversion, just the 5th today in 13 attempts by the Tigers.
You like this wrinkle. Weiner's not afraid of running between the tackles and initiating contact.
And if you're Princeton, right, final non-conference game, you are likely not coming back. But if you can string some good possessions together, get some stops, get some freshmen and sophomores on the field, give yourself something to feel good about heading up to Brown next week. Fired over the middle, Jackson Green on the slam, touchdown Princeton. Kai Cologne to Jackson Green, who hauls in his 2nd career touchdown. And the two-sport athlete makes it 38-13 here in the 4th quarter.
Great job by Cologne squeezing this into a tight window, and Green beautifully run route to keep a step on the defense, and the 11-yard touchdown puts Princeton with 13 points on the board. They'll look to get to 14 with this extra point.
Esteban Nunez-Perez, the junior, buries it, and it's 38-14 here in the 4th quarter. 2nd career touchdown catch for Jackson Green, his 2nd catch of the day, and a bullet fired in by Cologne.
They may play short stick defensive midfield in lacrosse, but it's offense that Princeton needs today. Still trailing 38-14 here at home.
Jackson Green, who just hauled in that last touchdown, a football recruit, but decided to also walk onto the lacrosse team and turned himself into one of the best defensive midfielders in the country, an All-Ivy selection this past spring. This was 2 weeks ago in a road victory against Lafayette, his 1st career touchdown catch. And just a few moments ago, the Tigers on the board for the first time here in the 2nd half. 11-yard strike, Kai Cologne to Jackson Green, and you can see there on your screen the first Princeton athlete to score a touchdown and a lacrosse goal since 1969. Lacrosse Hall of Famer Rod Bordley, the last Tiger to do that.
And what if I told you maybe his best high school sport was basketball? That's the truth. He had a sister who played basketball at Cornell, so to say he's an athlete is an understatement. He could be a 3-sport athlete if all these seasons didn't overlap so much.
Product of Rochester, New York. Bright spot for the Tigers. 38-14 the score, 8:54 to go, 4th quarter. Returnable for Smith from the 7-yard line, trying to cut it center, picks up a block and upended at the 25. So relatively speaking, good job by the Tigers coverage team.
Yeah, really all day they've been able to bottle up the return game of the Mercer Bears, which was definitely a concern coming in after the damage that Smith did last year down in Macon, Georgia.
After that scoring drive, which went 75 yards on 11 plays and spanned over 5 minutes, Kai Cologne 12 of 19, 119 yards and 2 touchdowns. Braden Atkinson back out there at quarterback. He's completed 65% for 339 yards and 3 strikes. From the 25, Tyrell Cord. Nothing doing for the junior running back out of Charlotte, North Carolina, Cox Mill High School.
Great job by the Mercer offense today, but the defense has created a lot of opportunities for them with the pressure they've been able to get on the Princeton quarterbacks, jarring the ball loose seemingly at will.
Connor Cronin on that last tackle. 2nd down and 10, man in motion, that's Solomon. They'll keep it on the ground with Cord. Picks up a couple, 3rd down coming up for the Bears.
Cody, you made a good point about let's look at what Princeton can take out positively from this game. You're going up against especially the fronts, right? The Mercer defensive and offensive lines. This is a matchup that's kind of swinging the heavy bat in the batter's box, right? Getting ready for Ivy League play. You're not going to go up against a front like this. I mean, Harvard has a tremendous front. There are great athletes on the lines in the Ivy League, but this should prepare you as a lineman for what's to come.
3rd down and 7, Atkinson poised on the hitch route, complete, shakes a tackle, 1st down, Apollos Cook. Redshirt sophomore tight end transfer from Duke. And another Mercer first down, another third down conversion. They're 6 for 10.
They've done a great job to convert on that 60% clip. And forward progress had stopped before this ball gets jarred loose.
Cook, one of 11 different Bears to haul in a pass today. 7 minutes to go, 1st and 10. Motion man Smith running right. Might be a new quarterback. And it is, that's J.P. Pickles, the redshirt freshman backup signal caller, flagged down on the field.
Number 69, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Number 69, backup center Blake Martin.
So that'll back up Mercer 10 yards. So it'll be 1st and 20 from the 26-yard line.
Six penalties today for the Bears for 60 yards. Dowdy in the backfield to give. Hole opens and then closes, just a gain of 2 for Dowdy, who's had a nice day on the ground. 9 carries, 41 yards. After his first career 100-yard game a week ago in the victory against Samford.
And up 24, Mercer, as we get towards 6 minutes to go in this one, can run the ball and start taking chunks off the clock. Obviously a comeback nearly impossible for the Tigers, so Mercer will just look to manage this game for the duration.
2nd down and 18. Atkinson's going to go to the air. Far side coming back for it. Dabs, and it's incomplete. Looked like Riker Jones in coverage on the perimeter for the Tigers. Wholesale changes. Edwards comes in, Rowland comes in, Morris comes in. Constantine Paskos, a true freshman they like, number 99, coming in at end. Handoff up the middle, Cord gets them back near the original line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up 4th down and about 9.
When you talk about wholesale changes for the Tigers, I wouldn't be surprised to see wholesale changes for the Bears. I mean, Atkinson's done a great job. He is going to take you very far this season. The last thing you want is some late game mishaps or injuries or missteps from your star players, as both of these teams, Princeton really gets going in Ivy League play. 1-0 thus far after the win against Columbia, but Mercer well into their conference schedule and cruising.
John McConnell on to punt for just the 3rd time today. Flag down on the field.
Illegal substitution, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So that'll make it 4th down and 14. It's about the only thing to clean up. 7 penalties, 65 yards. Outside of that, it's been all Mercer.
Yeah, and you can see the intensity from Mike Jacobs. He wants perfection.
5 minutes to go, 4th quarter. McConnell standing back at his own 18. Robinson deep for the Tigers. Fair catch called for and made. At around the 23-yard line, so that's a 46-yard punt with no return. 3 punts, McConnell averaging about 48 yards. Timeout on the field, we'll take it as well. Princeton back on offense, trailing 38-14 in the 4th quarter. Mercer back into SoCon play next weekend, taking on a 1-4 VMI team at home, and then back-to-back road games against the Paladins and the Catamounts. Those 2 teams, the other 2 undefeated teams in SoCon play, they're both 2-0 heading into the weekend, playing against each other today, just underway at Western Carolina. So that's a big game to watch in the SoCon this afternoon, and then at Auburn, November 22nd. This was a Mercer team, their big out-of-conference FBS challenge last year on the road in Tuscaloosa. Cologne out at quarterback. Tigers start off at the 23. Misdirection, handoff. There goes Lynch across the 30. First down and then some as he's bumped out of bounds just shy of midfield. Christian Lynch fired up, the sophomore out of Youngstown, Ohio. Flag came in late.
Flag came in late. Lynch does a really good job of bouncing it to the outside.
Personal foul, blindside block, offense number 23, 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's on to Prima, the sophomore wide out, so that will negate the nice run. Blindside block. Told you no Jalen Gear, no Charlie Rossi, so DePrima getting his first real run of game action this afternoon.
Yeah, that's costly. Great run for the Tigers.
Princeton would have had it around the 47. Now they're backed up to the 14. First down and 19. They'll keep it on the ground with Lynch. Knifes his way up the middle, brought down at around the 21. Mercer jumped out to a 21-0 lead, and at that point it was too little too late for the Tigers. They scored late in the second quarter after an Evan Haney interception. Kai Cologne found Aiden Besselman to get the Tigers on the scoreboard, and then the most recent trip down the field, Jackson Green with the touchdown catch. Second and 12, looking right. That's Caldwell. He gets lit up high. Carmelo O'Neal with the tackle.
And there's no choice but to get hit up high when you're a corner standing 6'4", 200.
Yeah, that's textbook, just 5'10" versus 6'4".
Take a look. Can't even turn around. There's O'Neal. Actually does a nice job of keeping the hands low.
It's a really good tackle. Third down and 7. Princeton just 5 for 13 on third down. Cologne fires off the hands of Keener, nearly intercepted. Falls incomplete, and it'll be fourth down.
It was a good job by Keener of getting position against O'Neal, and Cologne with a good throw. Just unable to complete the pass, and on fourth down, Princeton will have no choice down big but to punt it away.
Mike Polkey, a reserve defensive back, had a chance to intercept that, although it was deflected away. Brady Clark will come on to punt it away. That is still Smith back deep. Clark coming into this one third in the nation in punt average out of 95 eligible punters. Just under 48 yards per kick, and another booming one. That'll chase Smith back to the 24-yard line. Trying to get a block, shakes an ankle tackle, and then dragged down by Weiner.
Smith on the return.
51-yard punt, 7-yard return. Mercer takes over with just over 3 minutes to go. So Mercer fans happy to battle the raindrops today. This one has belonged to the 19th ranked Bears, who lead it 38-14. Mercer traveled well. A disappointing day for the Tiger faithful here as they wrap up non-conference play, coming into this one with back-to-back victories. Mercer will get the football back at their own 27-yard line.
It looks like we'll have a change at quarterback for the Bears.
J.P. Pickles, the redshirt freshman out of Tallahassee, Florida, who came in last series for one rushing play. He's going to keep it right up the middle, plunges ahead for a gain of 2. Robert Sanders on the tackle. Pickles, redshirt freshman out of North Florida Christian High School, where he threw for over 9,000 career yards. Transfer from UTEP, where he appeared in 3 games last year as a freshman. 6'1", 215-pound signal caller. You can see the green dot on the back of the helmet. That's maybe the most significant rule change this year. They, for the first time, allowing helmet coach-to-player in-helmet communication. It made it to the FBS last year. This year allowed for the first time at the FCS level. C.J. Miller back in, draws some contact and picks up the first down for the Bears with just over 2 minutes to go. One offensive player, one defensive player can have the earpiece, so that's the green sticker. It's the quarterback on offense. Generally, it's been a linebacker on defense for most teams we've talked to.
Yep, and for Mercer with that first down, as we get to the 2-minute timeout, they will really start getting this thing towards zeros.
Mercer creeping up on 500 yards of total offense as they look to sew up a non-conference victory on a rainy Saturday here in the Garden State. We thought we were going to tiptoe around the raindrops. That certainly hasn't been the case here today. Shout out to our entire crew here at Princeton Stadium for battling through the elements to get us on the air this afternoon. 38-14, Mercer on top. The Bears opened the season ranked in the top 15, and after losing to Presbyterian, dropped all the way down to number 25, but have slowly crept back up. They come into this one at number 19. Speaking of 19, J.P. Pickles, the redshirt freshman, still out there at quarterback.
Great job here by Miller, a little acrobatics.
Pickles coming in for their freshman starter, Braden Atkinson. Another fantastic day, 64%, 347 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. 2nd and 4 from the 44. Harris was the man in motion. They give to Miller. That was Miller, no. That was Pickles, the quarterback on the keeper, and he's stopped short. 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, 3rd down and 1.
Riker Jones doing a nice job with his defensive snaps here in the 4th quarter. Number 10 for the Tigers coming up to make the stop as we hit the 1-minute mark.
1-minute mark, both teams have 3 timeouts. May not see any of those called.
Pickles out of the shotgun, handoff. Miller on 3rd down and 1. That should do it. That'll move the chains with 40 seconds to go and temporarily stop the clock. C.J. Miller didn't play but 1 snap last week. He's got 8 carries, 37 yards, and a touchdown today on the road. Ty Dowdy, 10 carries, 43 yards. Tyrell Court has been their leading rusher today. So a lot of weapons in the backfield for the Bears, and they're not going to run another bet. Might have to snap it one more time and take a knee.
They'll have to kneel it once. 18 on the game clock.
J.P. Pickles, the backup quarterback, comes up behind his center, Gavin Marks. Drops the left knee down to the turf. Final 5 seconds tick off. And the Mercer Bears 5 consecutive wins as they come on the road and knock off the Princeton Tigers for the 2nd straight year. Mike Jacobs in his head coaching career now 90 wins compared to 21 losses.
An incredible resume. Gets stronger here on Mercer's first trip to the Garden State, and they leave New Jersey victorious after a resounding win. All 3 phases. Can't say enough about the offensive and defensive lines, and how about the true freshman quarterback.
Our player of the game presented by the Ford Motor Company. Pretty easy to pick Braden Atkinson, the freshman quarterback who improves to 5-0 as a starter. 347 yards passing on 27 of 42. 3 touchdowns, just 1 interception, was not sacked today. And a couple of big hits. 40 yards to Dabbs, 56 yards to McDaniel. That was a touchdown pass, 23 yards to their tight end, Samuel Albee. He spread it around. 12 different Bears caught a pass from the freshman quarterback, Braden Atkinson. 4 of his first 5 games, 300-plus yards. 4 of his first 5 games, at least 3 touchdowns. Most importantly, 5-0 as the Bears starter as they pick up their 5th consecutive win.
And some big games coming up in the SoCon for the Mercer Bears. Everything trending their way as they sit atop the conference standings. And for Princeton, they finish up their out-of-conference play here at home and gear up for the home stretch of the Ivy League season.
Princeton, meanwhile, drops to 2-2 on the season as they have their modest 2-game winning streak come to an end as they stare down 6 straight Ivy League games over the next 6 weeks, starting a week from today up in Providence. Mercer comes on the road and hands the Tigers a loss for the 2nd straight season, 38-14 the final score. For Stephen Cusimano, Dave Giancola, and our entire Princeton-based crew, I'm Cody Crushell saying so long from Powers Field. Mercer victorious 38-14. Thanks for joining us on a rainy Saturday afternoon.